Here are a couple quick examples of drawing indicated angle measures in what will eventually be referred to as standard position. Keep in mind that when we show each of these angle measures, we will do so by taking the initial side or the initial ray, which is already drawn, and we will rotate that counterclockwise an amount necessary depending on the size of the angle measure. For example, 120 degrees is the first case here. Note that we've already indicated and talked about what a 90-degree angle measure would look like, as well as a 180-degree angle measure. A 90-degree angle measure would rotate this ray so it is now standing straight up, and a 180-degree angle measure would rotate this ray so now it is facing the exact opposite direction. 120 degrees would fit somewhere between 90 degrees and 180 degrees, just like 120 fits between 90 and 180 on a numbered line. Since 120 degrees is closer to 90 degrees than it is to 180, we will graph the terminal side as a side length that is closer to 90 degrees than it is to 180. The angle measure then is the rotation from the initial side to this new terminal side. This would represent 120 degrees. Comparatively, 75 degrees, this is less than 90 degrees, which again would be an angle measure as facing straight up. Since it is less than 90 degrees, we have not rotated counterclockwise fully to 90. We expect the terminal side to be less than 90 degrees, but still closer to 90 than it is to the initial position. I would expect a ray something like this as a terminal side, and therefore the angle measure from the initial position to the terminal position would look something like this. 310 degrees is much larger. However, we can still try to have a reference for where 310 degrees would be based on other known angle measures. We talked earlier that 180 degrees would face the opposite direction, and 310 is larger than 180. 360 degrees would be one full rotation, so not fully rotating. And to get a value in between 180 and 360 that we can graph, well, if I know 90 degrees faces up, 90 degrees past that would give me 180. So 90 degrees up to here, 90 degrees again to get to 180. Another rotation of 90 degrees would have a line facing straight down, and that would be 270. 310 degrees is larger than 270 degrees. It is 40 degrees larger than 270, but it is also 50 degrees smaller than 360, which would be the full rotation. That means that 310 degrees is closer to 270 degrees than it is to 360, although the difference is not by much. I will draw the terminal side somewhere in what we may refer to as quadrant 4 of the rectangular plane, but a little bit closer to where I would have the y-axis. Remember always when graphing these kinds of angles, you have to both include the initial side, the terminal side, and you should also show the rotation that represents your angle measure, in this case 310 degrees.